I think it's time to re-emphasize the importance of foreign aid and having a program that is of such a type and character that we can plan for the future. Now, Mr. Khruschev can plan for 20 years in anything he wants to, and we know he's not letting up on anything.
The principal critics of the whole program of foreign aid, who criticize it for being inefficient, are also opposing the main thing that would make it efficient, which is the capacity to plan and to execute this program over a longer period. The main reason why it has been criticized and the mistakes it's made are because it has not had the capacity to plan beyond 1 year. There's no big business or any other important enterprise that can be conducted on an annual basis. They have to have the long-term capacity in order to be efficient. I think that this is the real issue in this program. The major issue is going to come on the effort to strike out the 5-year borrowing authority. If that is stricken out, I think it will very severely limit the capacity of the administration to administer this program efficiently and effectively during the next 5 years.
From this experience has come the conviction that the executive branch of the United States government is not organized as it should be for big, bold strokes in the field of foreign relations. We have often done extremely well, but it is often more in spite of the system than because of it. All too frequently under the present system, it takes too much time to get a United States position on any subject involving more than one department, and most of the big questions involve the State Department, the Pentagon, and the Atomic Energy Commission, and then there are many others which involve the Treasury. Then when a United States position is finally created, it takes too much time to get a unified position as between ourselves and our allies. The Soviet Union, on the other hand, can move fast with all of the advantages of secrecy and surprise. For these reasons, I have favored, and I still favor, various measures to make possible quick action within the executive branch of the United States government. On the inter-allied front, I favor penetrating and sympathetic study of the creation of a sort of free world high command, which could meet the communist diplomatic offensive on at least equal terms, somewhat as the Allied Joint Chiefs concerned themselves with military operations during World War II.
Teachers and more than 50,000 pupils in the Louisville school system did not report for classes. Some simply stayed home. Some took up their protest duties. Others went to emergency teachers' meetings. What happens tomorrow is a question mark. The Louisville Education Association, representing about 2/3 of the teachers in Kentucky's largest city, today called for a 1-week cooling-off period to give the Help Our Schools organization and the mayor and other city and state officials an opportunity to reason together, to somehow find a way out of a financial crisis the voters last Tuesday refused to resolve. These are some of Louisville's more than 50,000 students as they demonstrated on the steps of the Jefferson County Courthouse, chanting, "We wanted the school tax referendum to pass, and we want to graduate." Most of them will, but the schools here may lose their accreditation, and that's what the fuss is all about. The majority of officialdom wants what one terms student anarchy to end, but the Federation of Teachers predicts Louisville schools tomorrow will be crippled. There is concern here that 1,800 divided teachers and 50,000 playful pupils is a powder keg to which no man ought to light a match. This is David Dick reporting from WHAS Louisville.
Joey Bishop, Keely Smith, Danny Thomas, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, all of them ready to put in a good word and perhaps sing a song or two for their man. Not only do they appear in person, but many of them are glad to help the governor by performing in his television commercials.
Hello, I'm Burt Lancaster. I'm an actor, and I work hard at it. And like many of my friends in Hollywood, I also take an active interest in the political life of my state and my country.
I'm an actor, and I try my best to be a good one. That means, among other things, that I have to know where fantasy ends and reality begins. Now, I've played many characters on the screen: sheriff, Navy officer, even a scientist. But I know that I haven't the skills to be any of these characters in real life, just as I couldn't be a governor.
I'm proud to be a Californian. I'm proud that ours is not only the biggest state in America, but one that has shown the way to the rest of the nation in education, in science, conservation, mental health, and in many other areas that have meant a richer and fuller life for all of our people.
There's a big difference between the ability to read a script and the ability to lead the biggest state in America. The problems California faces today are very real problems, and we must have a real governor, not an acting governor, to solve them.
Reagan, of course, has plenty of stars, too. Some are old friends, such as Hal Perry, radio's great Gildersleeve, but none appear on Reagan's TV commercials. A star himself, he uses no supporting cast. He does his own performing. While Governor Brown uses movie stars on color TV, Reagan goes it alone in black and white.
There, well, wait a minute, there's a gentleman over here I think was there first.
Mr. Reagan, as a taxpayer, I have a question. Does the state spending have to keep going up?
I am convinced we can reduce the cost of government, and I'm going to whittle with a blue pencil as far as I can before I ever try.
You're asking the people of California to elect you as the head of a corporation that has a $4 billion annual budget. What in your background would qualify you to head up such a corporation as we have in this state?
Number one, it isn't a one-man operation. And number two, I must tell you that I don't believe that just holding public office is the only way by which you can get experience for public office.
He's clearly been had politically. This investigation is going to turn out, in my judgment, just from what I know, with a clear recommendation that he not be seated. This is the result. The House then declares the seat vacant. The governor of New York then calls a special election to fill that vacancy. I wouldn't be surprised if when the ballots are printed, the name of Adam Clayton Powell appeared on those ballots, and I wouldn't be surprised if he were elected, and he will then march down here with another certificate of election, and along in May or June, I think we might well go through this exercise again.
Of this year.
Of this year.
We made a very massive effort through the total cooperation of the federal investigating authorities and local authorities to interrogate everybody that we could find who allegedly had any information concerning Oswald's appearance or time that he spent in New Orleans. However, there's always a possibility in a criminal investigation that some evidence wasn't turned up, and if this is the case this time, I sincerely hope and trust that the law enforcement officials in New Orleans will fully cooperate with the Attorney General.
Congressman, to your knowledge, was the possibility of a conspiracy in New Orleans ever even mentioned during the investigation?
Oh, yes. The Warren Commission made a tremendous effort to interrogate every possible individual who allegedly had any connection with the assassination. We thoroughly investigated all aspects of Oswald's period of time in New Orleans. There was never any failure to do anything and everything we could to look into this aspect of Oswald's life.